Welcome back to the Boxing Bookie. We are back. It's good to be back. I got a familiar face, Muscles, and we got another familiar face, first time with us, but you guys know him well. He needs no introduction. Johnny says, so Johnny, well, Muscle, I'll get to you in a second. I want to introduce our special guest. Johnny's here. First, break it down the name. Johnny Says Boxing. Where does that come from? Where does it start? And then just talk a little about how you got your we're talking about off air, how you got your start in boxing, gambling, and boxing betting.
All right, man. First off, it's glad to be here. Thank you, Muscles, for setting this up. Gary, thank you for bringing me on to your channel. So I've been dabbling in YouTube for, probably since 2015. I write books.
Yeah, before you get started, give yourself a little commercial. Where can everyone? I got it linked here, but tell everyone about your channel.
Just go to Johnny Says on YouTube. It's kind of like Simon Says, but Johnny Says, and it's been through a couple different names. This is the most recent, the most successful version. I started my YouTube in 2015. I'm a strength. One of the things I do down here, I'm a strength and conditioning coach boxing, and I started a podcast in 2015 called the Vision Board Podcast, where I was interviewing like Layla Ali, George Foreman, Larry Holmes, Evander Holyfield, and everybody was like, "How do you get these people on your show?" And I live in Sydney, and I'm like, Australia is a sexy sell to Americans. It was all about the pitch. So that was kind of like the start of my journey of being in this sort of space. Then I started another podcast called Ungoogleable, in which I would interview fighters, entrepreneurs, people like Gary Vee, Grant Cardone, Lawrence Krauss, but also like, world champion athletes. Chris Algieri is a buddy of mine from this journey. And then I wrote a couple books. And then, through the book, I published 2 books. And then I started one of my investors. I did a documentary in 2019 about a bare knuckle sport called Lethwei, in which it looks like Muay Thai, but it's bare knuckle and the headbutt is legal. And I met the first ever Western world champion in the sport. It's based out of Myanmar. Burmese boxing is a guy named Dave Leduc. So I met Dave Leduc on my podcast. I went to an investor. I pitched him this idea to film a documentary. I get flown to LA. This was October 2019. And I pitched to Sony Studios. They invest us to travel to like Myanmar, Cyprus to follow this fighter and do this documentary. And then the COVID happened. We're in Cyprus in January 2020. We fly back. COVID happens. Long story short, I had all of this content, right? And people in Sydney, we were on lockdown. We couldn't leave our houses farther than 5 kilometers for like 2 years. It was horrible down here. And so I hired a couple editors to come to my house, and they taught me how to edit. So I edited the whole documentary on my own, which is on my YouTube channel. And then one of my investors says, "Johnny, you should stop interviewing people. You should just start doing boxing content." Because he watched the fights with me.
Yeah.
I started boxing as a 7-year-old in Youngstown, Ohio. So I grew up in Youngstown. One of my first
you're obviously American. Okay, Youngstown, Ohio. Kelly Pavlik country right there. Yes, sir.
Yeah, he don't sound Australian at all.
Kelly's a childhood friend of mine. We grew up together. We grew up winning baseball tournaments, boxing at Southside Boxing Club with Jack Lowe. I was 7. And then long story, the short of it, I've been rambling here. Johnny Says, right now, the name, I'll rant. And now I'm here, man. And, about really diving into the YouTube content, like focusing on it and treating it like a second job for about a year now. And I'm loving it. I love what I do. I love the sport of boxing. I love meeting like-minded people like you guys and learning more than I knew yesterday. So, yeah, I'm here.
I want to Muscles, introduce yourself. Johnny, it's great to have you on. Everyone check out Johnny's channel. Johnny Says Boxing. It's a great channel. I'm a fan. I sub to the channel, and that's kind of how I want to have him on. And Muscles brokered the whole deal and said, "Oh, I'll get him. I know." I'm like, "For real? Like, yeah, I'll get him." And the next day, here we are. So, Muscles, introduce yourself. Tell me how you met Johnny, and then I'm gonna do some commercials, and we'll get started.
Yes, sir. Yeah, you guys know me, man. You know me and Gary, man. We go back. Yeah, man, I said, listen, I felt like this would be the perfect time to get 2 boxing brains like you 2 together, man. And I jumped on Johnny's live one time. So a backstory of me and Johnny real quick. So me and Johnny actually met on Instagram. So I used to watch Johnny's channels faithfully. I would bounce back between him and Gary. And one time I sent him a DM, didn't think he was gonna get back to me, but I sent him a DM and I sent him all my tickets from last year that I hit. And he hit me back and he's like, yo, mate, man, this is some serious profit you're making on these tickets, man. So we just connected on WhatsApp from there. We exchanged numbers. He invited me to go on his live and, just to explain the way, my method is of betting and, things like that. And then we just connected from there. I went on like 2 or 3 lives after that. And then we got a lot of good feedback from a lot of people on his channel saying, yo, you guys got to keep doing this on Thursdays, man. We like you two together. And Gary is like, yo, listen, I want to pick his brain too. Can you kind of set that up, get it together? And I said, you know what? I got his number. I'll call him. I called him the same day. Gary sent the link. We here, and the rest is history, man. We with the 2 best in the business right now. You know what I'm saying? We with the best in the business. So I'm excited for this, man. I'm excited for this.
All right, let me pay my bills real quick, guys. Join the Patreon. Link is in the description. It's also in that little ticket below. I'm gonna pin it in the chat. Just $5 a month gets the absolute best gambling advice. It gets you a lock in a week, which I already hit. I hit 1 lock already. Hit a lock yesterday. Well, this morning, I guess. In the Japanese fights, I'm gonna have another lock or 2 out for you by the end of the week. So I get you at least 2 or 3 locks every week. I'd also get you access to the Discord. In the Discord, we do live betting. We have the updated props. You get the absolute best gambling advice anywhere in the known boxing universe for just $5 a month. So make sure to join the Patreon. Link is in the description. It's also in that ticket below. It's pinned in the chat. Just $5 a month. After you guys do that, head on over to carnivalbar.com. It's a meal in your pocket. It's the world's only high-fat, grass-finished beef bar that replaces a meal while on the move and stores for years. Get your travel autonomy and freedom back. That's carnivalbar.com. Use promo code BOXING at checkout to save 10%. That's promo code BOXING at checkout to save 10%. It's the nutrition of a steak, the convenience of a bar. carnivalbar.com. All right. So, guys, we did have some action this morning, or I guess last night, if you're in Johnny's time zone. Because it's already Thursday where Johnny is, right? It's 10 a.m. your time.
Yeah, it's crazy.
He's living in the future. All right, so I gave out my lock to my Patreons and my subs. It was the over on the Nunez fight, and then I took Sakai on the money line. I should have taken my stoppage, but I took safe there. But it was plus 104. It was 2-leg parlay. I sweated out the Nunez fight. Takai made it easy for me. Got that over quickly. But yeah. So what did you guys have? What were your thoughts on yesterday's action? Johnny, you're the guest. Start with you.
Yeah. So had action on my channel as well. The two fights. I didn't get as good of odds, but I just took 2 money lines. I'm still where I'm more comfortable asking people to spend their money is basically where I'm winning mine at, and that's the money lines. I took Nunez. I got him at $1. I think he was $1.30, and then Takai money line. It paid out $1.64, but we got both of them. I went really heavy on that based off the winnings that I had made. There was a Polish boxing card right after Josh Taylor screwed all of my channel's bets. There was a card in Poland with Lucas Brzezik is a obscure middleweight, ranked number 37 in the world. Won a bunch on that, doubled down and got in. And man, that Nunez Rikishi is tough as nails. And the whole fight, I wasn't comfortable. Even as it started to swing, because I had Nunez money line. What a fight that was! And then Takai's counter. I mean, he knocked him down 3 times in the first minute. That backhand counter was just sharp. The Japanese fighters, man. I always find out about newer guys when I watch their cards. Even Hara versus Tarai. Muscles, I texted you before the card. I asked you if you guys were getting options to take the Hara versus Tarai fight.
Yeah, I don't think we have them. Correct me if I'm wrong, G. I don't think we have them on our book. I don't think we got a line on them.
I'm going to pull our book up. I use DraftKings. That's what DraftKings is actually the only book legal in New Hampshire. So I always use DraftKings. That's what we go with. So when I give my locks, it's always off DraftKings odds. They're usually pretty good.
Yeah. So we hit on that, and looking forward to, we got on more fights, Mexico, Vegas cards, a lot of stuff going on.
All right. You guys want to get into it? Start going over fight by fight this weekend?
Yeah, let's dive in. Big weekend.
This is what the people want. They got me, Muscles, and Johnny all working together here.
Don't get any better than this, baby. Let's go.
All right, Friday. Well, let's start. Let's go reverse. Let's start with the main event. Beck and Fulghum, both guys even money now. It's minus 110 each according to DraftKings. Can you guys see this? Yeah, you can see this. It's minus 110. Beck and Fulghum. This is has Beck opened up the favorite and it's gotten smaller and smaller, and now it's an even money fight. Johnny. Well, I don't know if you know what my thoughts, but give me your thoughts on this fight first. Just on the money line, and then we can get into the props.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the odds, very similar. The money's changing on this one a lot, like you said. I watched your breakdowns too, and I everything you said about DFG, where he's at in his career. The way I broke it down and analyzed, I'm taking Beck the bully, man. I'm just based on his style. Based on how he's going to go about his business. I know DFG's. I don't know. I'm putting my money on Beck. That's who I'm rolling with.
I'm rolling the opposite. I did my breakdown. I think DFG. Look, I don't love DFG's resume. I don't love his level of competition. That's what scares me. He hasn't fought anyone good. Beck really hasn't either. He's fought Rosado and he split with Rosado. I think DFG can outbox him from the outside. I think he can outwork him in the mid-range. He just needs to stay away from that, really up close with him. If he can keep the fight in the mid-range or out, I think he has his way with him. Fulgham's obvious. Go ahead.
Do you think that Fulghum, though, this was my biggest issue with this fight, is when we watch Fulghum fight, he literally, his style is what Beck's nickname is. He wants to bully you. And when you climb the classes, when you climb the levels, we guys don't know, fans don't know, analysis don't know until we know if a guy is there. If a guy is truly the guy he says he is. I don't know if DFG is, and we'll find out. That's why it's a fun fight.
So let me ask you, what is Beck's best win? Is Gabe Rosado?
Probably. You know what?
I would say Rosado.
It has to be, especially since he had to get a get back. And psychologically, when you want, not all guys want get backs. I mean, we're about to see that with Gallegos and Co. Co put his hand up. We'll get to that later.
We'll get that, yeah.
When you get a get back and you put that on your resume, I think mentally the fighter in his head is like, the first one never happened. That page is turned. So, I mean, both guys are probably, we're going to see, you got to think you're going to see the best version of both guys. And I don't think we've seen Fulgham's best version yet. So that's another reason why I'm torn. He keeps getting better. I think maybe Bektemir, what we know and what we see in him, it's almost like, is he already at his ceiling? So it's a tough fight. I'm not confident in my pick, but I'm just siding with, based on the game planning of what I think Fulghum is going to try to do. And I'm leaning on that. I don't think he's going to be able to get away with some of the things that he's gotten away with thus far in his career.
Muscles, you want to break the tie here? We got 1-1. I got Beck. You like him on points, or you like him by stoppage? You like the fight to go the distance? Would you like any of the props, Johnny?
See, I'm not. When I do my prop bets, I do them on a down low. I'm not as confident. If anything, it's tough to see Fulghum get stopped. But if you're going to take my logic, and why I think Beck is going to win, it would probably be by stoppage.
I agree with you. If Beck's going to win, and look, I'm not like 100% confident in Fulghum, right? But if Beck wins, I would imagine it's going to be by stoppage. The volume, he's not going to, he's not sharp enough from the outside. He doesn't throw enough to outwork him. Like, I think if Fulghum gets knocked out, which is possible,
it's like
he's going to be up on the cards when he does.
Yeah. And it's kind of, it's a tough one. And you know what? I'm not even putting that fight on my big. I like doing one long parlay. I call it a money line parlay. Yeah. And then I'll do some sneaky smaller ones. I'm saving this one for like a sneaky smaller parlay.
Muscle, do you want to break the tie here? We got one Beck on money line and one DFG on money line. What are your thoughts on this?
Listen, fellas, man, I've been going back and forth with this fight. I'm torn, bro. I'm torn. If I had to put a gun to if they put a gun to my head, I would probably side with DFG. I don't think nobody gets stopped though. I'm gonna be honest. I think this fight goes the over. I think it goes the distance. If I had to lay my money, I would not wager on a winner. I would probably wager on this fight to go over, man. I don't know who's gonna win this fight. I think they both got paths to victory. I slightly favor Fulghum, man. I like what I see from Fulghum. I've been a fan of his. I like his style. I just think he's going to nick out a decision. I do.
This is going to be, and that's why the odds are what they are. They're literally even right now. It's literally a pick 'em fight. They're both minus
50-50,
110,
100%.
50-50 fight. And that,
even,
and you're getting that in the breakdown here. Let me start with Eric Priest, and I'm just doing the tape on this now. I finished the tape on this. I got to record the video. I got to tell you, I'll get to you in a minute, Joe, because I want your thoughts on this. Eric Priest and Luis Arias. I'm not impressed with either one of these guys. I know Priest, he was on some Loeffler cards, Loeffler 360 cards. He's had a ton of televised fights. I don't really see much in him. Like, he's fairly athletic. He's got decent, I don't think great power. He's got a nice little jab. I just don't see anything world class about him. And Luis Arias has proven over and over again to fall short at the highest stage. I'm gonna take Priest in this, but like at minus 575, that's a little wide to me. I do think Priest is gonna win, but I'm not impressed with Eric Priest. Like, what are your thoughts on this fight?
Go ahead, Johnny. I agree. Yeah. I agree with what you said. I think, I've watched Eric Priest fight. I've watched, follow his social media. He's very marketable. And the one thing in our sport is sometimes we could get kind of like glossy-eyed with marketing. He says all the right things. He's always in the gym. You look at those resumes, though, and you look at the division they fight in, man, Arias, I'm not going to say I'm going to pick him, but for the value, I'm shocked that those odds are that wide, especially you look at his resume. Like you said, Arias, when he steps at the biggest challenge, he doesn't really, I'm looking at his box rec right now. He falls short, but goddamn, he shared the ring with some studs. You know what I'm saying? Like his losses, he has a win over Jared Hurd. A win over Swift.
Swift, the former unified champion. Not that long ago.
That's a great win. Talk about it.
It's a great win. And the question you got to ask Arias, I think, is 34. How much does he have? What's his engine like? Where's that energy at? So I would actually, a lot of the boys are talking about adding it to a parlay to add value. I don't know if I'm even going to touch it.
Really, Johnny, huh?
It's a rough week. Like we got to make money, so we got to come with something. I'm confident he'll win, but the odds to me are like, is the juice worth the squeeze here? I'm with Johnny on this, right? Like,
he's fought. He lost to Danny Jacobs by decision. He beat Jared Hurd. He got stopped by Lubin, and he's won two fights in a row by stoppage, and. It's kind of, I don't know if you want to call it a trap fight, but I think this is hands down Priest's biggest step up. Is Arias cool with having the title of gatekeeper now? That's what we're going to see. Some guys adhere to it. Some guys get to the stage of the career. They tell themselves, all right, I'm not going to be a world champion. I'm cool with being a gatekeeper. We'll see if Arias is that guy.
Yeah. But some fighters don't listen though. Some fighters, Johnny, refuse to take that gatekeeper title. I'll tell you that right now. But if you're looking at Eric Priest's resume, though, right? There's no Jared Hurds on there. There's no Lubinsons on there. So is this really a trap fight, like Gary was saying? Is this one of those fights where the bookies might have messed up the line on this, and we see an upset, and Arias ends up beating Lubin? Beating Priest. That might be possible. So I don't know if I'm gonna roll the dice on this one.
And when you look at Priest, man, he's 26, far from a finished product. He's kind of a project. You know what I mean? Like, I look at him as like sort of, who's he fought? What's his best win?
Tyler Howard.
Tyler Howard.
Those are the best names on his resume. Two guys who I know Tyler Howard personally. He trains in Texas with Bobby Benton. He's a great kid. Yeah. Come on. Come on.
Yeah, opposition matters, bro. Opposition matters, man.
And then the other one is over Jose Charles, and Jose Charles he's an opponent. Charles has been in the ring with some guys, Vito Melaniki, Austin Trout, but he loses every single round. Like, he's never won a round. He usually gets stopped. And these are the best guys he's been in with. If I had to, and I don't rate Vito Melaniki at all. But if I said to you, Johnny, who's a better prospect, Melaniki or Priest? Who would you say?
See, I probably would say Priest.
Okay. I might even go the other way on that. Like, I'm really not impressed with Priest. Like, I'm really not. That's
a great question, though. Did you watch? All right, did you watch Johnny Mansour this weekend?
I didn't see the fight. No, I saw it happen. I didn't get to see the fight.
That's another guy. He's getting pushed so much, at least down here in Australia. He's always on the UFC Fight Pass. I don't know if he's, part of. I think is he wild card? I think he fights out of wild card.
Yeah.
So we get all those fights, and I watch him, and every time I watch him, you're calling your. I don't see it. I don't see this sort of. So when you ask about Malnicki and Priest, I think I kind of categorize that in prospects in which some people will tell me to my face these guys are going to be world champions. I don't know.
I look at Priest. I don't see okay, he's going to be a world champion. What kind of fight? To me, he doesn't even have an identity, right? And a fighter without an identity, you know what I'm saying?
It's a great point.
And don't tell me he adapts to whoever he's in the ring with. Come on, he hasn't fought anybody good yet.
Say that, yeah. Come on,
he should be dominating. He's walking through these people.
Right.
I don't see anything in Priest that suggests that he's going to be a world champion. I don't see a big hitter. I don't see a super sharp guy from the outside with great feet who can make you miss. I don't see a guy with great volume. I don't see a guy who can. He's got a nice little jab. I say he's not going to control you with it. I don't really I look at him. I don't see a hyper athlete. I don't see a huge puncher. I don't really see much of why do we like him so much? I think he wins this fight.
Yeah.
And I said this in when I was in my notes. It's gonna be no more easy fights for Eric Priest. Every fight from here on out is gonna be difficult. This may be the last time he wins a fight of notoriety. The next step might be too far for him. You know what I'm saying? After Arias, whoever comes next might be too much for him.
Yeah, because when you look at the guys he's fought, this is his biggest step up. And even though my odds are telling me that Arias is a 5-1 dog, I'm sitting here I don't know, man. I don't think he's a 5-1 dog. I don't.
If I was to set the line on this fight, Johnny and G, I would have made Priest probably like a -300, -320. -575 is super wide, bro. For someone that fought the caliber of fighters that Luis Arias has fought, bro. Really think about that.
They just, you know what I mean? It's just, they're almost the same height. Priest 6 foot tall, only has a 73-inch reach. Like you said, he doesn't do anything that jumps off the page. Not too explosive. There's not one punch power that you got to fear. I mean, where do you go from there then in that opposition when you're training for him? I think Arias, in terms of how he fights, he doesn't have a huge knockout to win ratio, but I bet you he tries to big brother him. I bet you, I bet you that's what's going to happen. And we're going to see mentally if Priest could hold up to it. Are you guys throwing this on your parlay?
I'm not sure yet. I gotta get my guy something, right? They pay $5 a month to get a lock of the week. I gotta kill him. So I do think he's gonna win the fight. I don't like the odds on it. I'm gonna try not to put this on, but I may have to end up. I do think he's gonna win though.
It's a winnable fight.
This is what I said, right? We talked about NBA playoff betting before. The Knicks, according to FanDuel, the Knicks, who are down 3-1 and have no chance of beating the Pacers, are a +410. Okay. Arias is a +400. So Vegas is telling me he has basically the same shot of winning as the New York Knicks do of coming back and winning 3 in a row against a team who's dominating. It was this is wild. That's straight disrespect to Luis Arias. I don't think Arias is going to win. But to say him and the Knicks have about the same shot at winning is crazy.
Yeah. Are you familiar? There's a couple prospects and there is value. If you search for it, there's a few prospects on a couple of these cards with similar odds that I feel more comfortable with. For instance, Priest, I'm getting Priest like we talked about at $1.14. But also I'm getting Carl Martin. Look, Carl Martin I think he might be Filipino. He's at $1.14, and he's gonna dog walk his opponent Portillo.
Yeah, so I don't have him on my book. I know exactly.
I gotta move to G. Let's move to Australia ASAP, bro.
Yeah, I think what it is we get more options to fight. They give us fighters who are I think the Southeast Asia. You get a lot of Thai. There's so much money, dude. Getting the Thai boxing odds, it's crazy because these are Muay Thai fighters who just want to get fights, who are boxing, who have no power, just like we saw with Takai, with Tong Di. But if you could get Carl Martin, his name sounds like not what you think. I think that's a lock. $1.14. If you're torn with adding juice to a parlay, I feel more comfortable with Martin than Priest.
I want to get to these other fights. Muscles, I didn't get your thoughts on this Priest Arias fight. I want to get to these prospects on the Golden Boy card. There's nothing really to bet on, but I want Johnny to take on it. Priest, Arias, are you with us, Priest? But it's not going to be impressive. Is that kind of your thoughts on it too?
To me or Johnny?
Yeah, muscles. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, I like Priest, but he's not. I mean, he's not what they're hyping him up to be. You know, I think Priest. This is a definitely winnable fight for him, and like you, Gary, I think he's gonna win. But I don't think it's enough for me to put money on him, though. This is one of those fights I'm gonna have to stay away from. If I'm being honest, you know what I'm saying?
Because if he jumped up and they put him in the ring with Shane Mosley Jr. next, he's gonna lose.
He's gonna
if
lose.
They put him with Aaron McKenna or Amma Williams, he's gonna lose. Right? Like this is what I was saying. Like this may be his last win. If they put him in with Marquise Taylor or Kieran Conway, I still think he loses. Like there's no more easy fights. They're gonna look to move him, and when they look to move him, he's gonna get exposed because he's not really all that. Like there's not a ton to him. So
and he's going against a guy that got a lot of experience, man.
I can probably tell you whoever he fights next, I'm gonna lean towards that other guy. I don't even know who it is yet. But I'm probably gonna pick Priest to lose.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where I'm at with it, though, G. That's where I'm at with it.
I think we're all on the same page with that one. The rest of the card, a couple prospects. Caden Griffiths, American kid, decent looking prospect. Federico Pacheco.
Pacheco's little brother.
Yeah. Federico Pacheco, Danny Garcia, different Daniel Garcia, and Grant Flores. Anything there? I mean, the odds are all wild. Minus 1,800, minus 3,000, like that. Anything there worth betting on, Johnny?
I actually have one that you did on a parlay, a long parlay that you didn't name is the Santiago Dominguez fight. That's a feeder fight. That's a game. He's $1.09.
Yeah.
He's fighting a 7-1 dog. He's gonna win that fight. So but Caden is $1.03 here. I mean, do you want to add $1.03? Pacheco's $1.06. So you could add. The other week I hit I think like 14 legs. But every now and then we saw what happened in Doncaster. You had I forget Jimmy John, not Hughes, but he was $1.07 in the first round. He broke his hand and had to fight the whole fight with one arm, and he lost the fight. And I didn't bet it, but I had people messaging me like, I can't believe this guy lost. So things do happen.
I've seen that, Johnny. I've seen that.
Yeah, things do happen, but
I think wild.
I probably. Yeah, I like Santiago Dominguez as a lock, 100%. I like
Santiago Dominguez is coming off a loss against Rocha. Yeah. Competitive fight, fun fight, but he lost.
Look who they're feeding him. Do you
I see. Yeah, John Vincent. Yeah.
Do you see anything in his opponent? That's what I mean by kind of like he needs to get fed.
his opponent is best known for getting absolutely bodied by Enrique Vivas at 126 and Zepeda at 130. So I just want that's who he's been, and now he's fighting Santiago Dominguez. So
yeah,
at what 140? What weight is it at?
The belt here, yeah, it's it. Well, no, it's at
welterweight.
Yeah, 147. So this guy who typically fights at 126 to 135 was fighting at 147.
That's feeder.
Keep that in mind. Yeah, keep that in mind, guys. This is a fight that probably shouldn't be sanctioned, honestly.
No.
They're not the same weight class.
See, this is us. We have to put puzzle pieces together to create parlays. This is one of them.
We got to connect the dots,
So I think Pacheco might be worth betting on. Caden Griffiths, I mean, these aren't going to really move the needle. I think Caden Griffiths is an excellent prospect.
He's winning.
But, there's really no odds there. The other fight, the other card, I want to get other Friday card I want to get into. Let's get into the main event. Again, a 50-50-ish kind of fight according to the books. Muscles, you want to start us off with this one? Khalil Ko and Gallegos Part 2. Repeat or revenge?
Listen, this is gonna be a repeat. Now, I caution you. So I know some sharp bettors who are going the other way, thinking that Ko's gonna get a decision. I disagree. But I think that Ko, his confidence level from that first fight, I don't think, because you gotta understand, if Ko goes in there and he tries to box with this dude, he's gonna get ran over. He's gonna get stopped early. He can't box with this dude because if you saw that first fight, this dude was on him every single minute of every single round. He would not let up. And there was times in that fight where Cole would try to box. That didn't work out for him. And now if he goes in there and tries to brawl with him, that's not going to work out for him either. He's going to end up getting stopped again. So I think he's going to have to move. I mean, I just don't. I don't see a path to victory for this dude, man. I really don't. The only thing I think he could do is make it somewhat close and make it go to decision. But either this dude's gonna beat him by stoppage, or he's gonna get him again, or he's gonna beat him on the cards. I don't see a path for victory for Cole. I don't. I think he's overhyped. And I don't think his confidence is going to be where it's at this fight because now he knows who he's going in there against now. And now you got to think about it too on the flip side of that. This dude already knows what he has to do to beat him. So now he's coming in with extra motivation and extra hunger. So that's where I'm at with it. I think Cole's either going to get stopped again or he's going to lose on the cards.
Johnny, let me get your take on this fight too. Khalil Cole, Gallegos. The first one, what they call the shocking upset, but I didn't really see anything shocking about it. So let me get your thoughts.
Yeah, I agree. The way I see the second one going, the first one happened only 6 months ago. It was on that undercard in Philly with Boots Ennis. Also, people have to remember Gallegos. He's only fought 2 fights at light heavyweight. His losses happen in lower weight classes. Lost to the body shot against Pacheco. He's 2-0 at 174. It's in Mexico. We know about, fighting in elevation with that altitude. We know about the engine, the cardio, the gas tank. We know about the style. There's nothing that when you think about Gallegos' game plan, he's already proven it to work. He's already shown you his body of work. With Ko, I have a lot of people on my channel reaching out to me, telling me that they have insider information. He's not the guy that they showed. He has more to show. And what I tell them is, I don't think Khalil Ko is the guy that everybody thinks he is. I haven't seen it. I think he's a good athlete in terms of boxing, especially at the pace Gallegos fights at, what he does with both hands in Mexico, Guadalajara. I'm shocked. Last night, the biggest upset I'm pissed at is yesterday, Gallegos was 255 down here. It's dropped to 220. I haven't seen a swing like that, money coming back in less than 12 hours on a boxing match in a while.
Kristen Mock, a friend of the program, another Aussie. I'm sure she follows your channel as well. Says, what's up?
What's up, Kristen?
She's really good with the Australian fighters. Like, she's really good. Like, he schools me on. She's good.
Nice.
Kirsten, that's a female?
Yeah. She's in my channel a lot, especially when there's like Australian fights going on.
Hey, big respect, man. That's dope. We got a female in here. That's super dope.
But that's cool. I think it's going to be business as usual for Gallegos.
I think so too. Gallegos had a pretty good performance on Pro Box, which is really all we got to see of him before the first fight. But I've never been impressed by Ko. Ko took a loss or I guess a draw early in his career, where he's probably lucky to get the draw. I was never impressed by him.
You know what it is with Ko? Ko's biggest victories were in the amateurs when he beat the Cuban heavyweight champion.
Yep.
When he beat
and that's why they're hyping him up, Johnny. That's why off that amateur win.
Yeah. So
the pose is a different game, though. It's a different level.
Yeah, exactly. The psychological trauma from getting he got stopped, he got dropped a couple times.
3 times. Three times,
so, I mean,
Johnny. That confidence, I'm telling you, that confidence may be shot, man.
Yeah, so I'm putting this. What I have is a little bit of cheese on this and Beck on their own ticket. I'm taking Beck money line and Gallegos. Put a little bit of sprinkle on those two to win money line. It pays nice.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, this might be my only play for Friday. Because obviously we got Plan and Charlo Saturday, but for Friday, this might be my only play. I might just take Gallegos at plus what? What is he? Plus 130, plus 140?
Yeah, I'm taking Gallegos too. I think we're unanimous.
Bro.
I'm thinking we're unanimous on this. Shout out to Poppy, $2 super chat. Appreciate you, Poppy. No message. So if you got anything you want me to read off, let me know. Johnny speaks the most facts out of the 3. I really like him. Okay. I like him too. That's why I'm having him on.
Right. That's why we got him on here, baby.
No offense taken, Johnny. That's why I have him on.
I grew up with older sisters, so I don't take compliments too well. Thank you.
Listen, we're with the best boxing brains in the business, man. So
2 best boxing channels here at Muscle. I appreciate you, DJ. I appreciate you.
Appreciate
Thanks,
it,
DJ.
DJ.
Yeah, so are we taking? I like Gallegos to stop him, and I'm gonna throw some money. My parlay is basically gonna be Gallegos and a couple of layups.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw a standalone bet. Gallegos by stoppage is plus 250. I'm gonna throw some.
Why not?
Ooh.
Yeah. I'm not gonna throw a lot on it.
My only worry with that is Cole might be on his bike this fight.
He can't be. Eddie Hearn told him in no uncertain terms, if you lose, you're done. I'm dropping you.
This is a do or die fight for him.
He's got to come to fight, man. He can't try to sit there and try to win a decision. Remember, it's in Mexico. He can't get on his bicycle and hope that the Mexican judges who love wars are gonna give him a gift. He can't hope for that. You know what I'm saying? He's got to get in there, and to me, that's why when Eddie Hearn told Raymond Ford's his boy, they're both from Jersey.
I saw the video.
And
Ford's
like this.
Someone put it in the Discord. yo, G, Ford said like
Mexico Ford's like.
Yeah, he's like, oh damn, man. He said they're gonna have to be in shape this fight.
I think it's gonna look shockingly like the first fight. I don't think there's gonna be a whole lot of difference.
Gary? What are your odds for the stoppage for Gallegos?
Plus 250. Plus 250.
It's 3. He's almost 4-1. It's 380 down here.
What is Cole? Because Cole by stoppage is plus 230. So it's actually
it's lower. It's 225.
So what's your book? What's your book on the money line? Because I on my money line, Cole is minus 130.
Minus 170.
What do you have Gallegos on the money line? I got plus 105.
Last night he was at 285. It's 230.
God,
230.
All that money. Yeah, he was a bigger.
It shifted like that since last night.
That's what I said. I checked it before I went to bed, and I got it at 230. If I would have picked it last night, I would have got him at 285.
Wow.
I know that's a lot. I haven't seen that much money shift in a boxing match in that short 12 hours.
In a minute.
12 hours. Because Japan ended at like 11 p.m. and it's not even 11. Less than 12 hours.
Yeah, that's wild.
Miran told me Collins was going to stop McGregor.
I picked Collins, and that you guys.
That's a good call, Miran, right there, man.
I've never been more wrong about a fight than I was that one. I was that high on Collins. I've always been a McGregor stan. I'm like, McGregor's better than he gets credit for, and he's not. He keeps proving he's the UK Chris Colbert. No, he's good. Trust me, he's good. No, he doesn't. He sucks. Get over it.
It was a Chris Colbert syndrome.
That was a fun fight to break down, though. Just when you look at those guys, what I like doing is watching they fought each other in the amateurs. Collins lost. And then when you're seeing them speaking about it, Lee McGregor all fight week was still holding that kind of like on his shoulder, and watching their fight styles adjusted from the amateur game to the pro level. Nathaniel Collins, the way he fights now, he didn't fight like that 6-7 years ago. And then him be, with the infighting as well. When you watch Lee McGregor, especially, when things get close and when things get heated, how he exits the pocket. I was like, he's not as comfortable as Collins is in there, and that's why I took him.
Right.
You guys were right. I was 100% wrong in that fight. I knew him early on because I had him in a parlay to go over, and I was like, oh, just let the thing go over. Like, he's clearly not going to win. That was obvious right away. He wasn't going to win that fight. I was like, well, I'm going to lose that bet. But I had taken Sylvester by points, and that paid earlier that day, right? I hit Sylvester on points at plus 210, I think it was.
Yeah,
that was a fun fight.
It was all found money. I just took the money that I won there and then put it on McGregor by points. And like by the end of the first round, I'm like, well, I'm going to lose this bet. At least let it go over. And I hit my parlay. And a couple rounds later, he got stopped. It's like,
hey, my under 1.5 hit on Taylor and Esserman.
Yeah, it did. It did. Yeah. He kills it with that.
What did that pay? What is under 1.5?
Knockdowns, 1.5 knockdowns.
What did that pay, though?
I think it paid like minus 370.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So,
I love that prop.
Miran
just said exactly what I just said about
this fight. How does Cole win the fight off the back foot? Yeah, because traditional logic, okay, he's the better athlete, which he is. Like, if you check all the boxes, Code checks more boxes. So, but unfortunately for Code, the fight's not done on paper. It's done in a 20-foot squared circle.
Correct.
Right? So he's going to lose. If it's done on paper, he'd win. But it's not. It's not in a ring. And he's going to lose. He's never done that. So, yeah, now you're asking him in the biggest fight of his career to be something that he's not. He's either not.
He's got to go in there and brawl, bro. He's got to go in there and fight.
Or he's going to do that and he's going to lose.
And he's going to lose, right? He's going to get knocked his ass out.
I don't see a different option here. Like, all roads lead to Rome here. Goat, it says I didn't see the video. Where can I find it? What's video are you talking about? I'll try to see.
The Eddie Hearn video I think he's talking about with Raymond Ford. I don't know. I'm assuming that's what he's talking about.
It's in the Discord. It's in the Discord. I'll try to get it to you, Discord, yeah. All right. Let's get to I don't want to be here all day. I don't want to keep Johnny all day. I want to move to Saturday's fights. Anything else on that anything else on Friday that you want to talk about, Johnny?
Let me see what I've written down. No, I think no. Let me see. Give me 1 sec. A fight. I'm not going to bet on it because the odds are terrible. But does MJ get the pub in America that he gets Akhmadaliev? Everyone loves this guy down here, the Uzbek fighter who is trying to position himself.
Him and Inoue is supposed to be fighting. They hyping him up big time.
Yeah, I don't like him. I like him.
Fights this
I don't like him like that. Yeah.
People think they're saying he's the guy to beat Inoue. He's fighting this weekend.
No, his fight's a gimme. I mean, I think he's gonna stop doing like the 5th or 6th round around there.
He will. Carmel, no, we covered it. Maybe the Yenli Hernandez fight. Maybe have we got there yet?
Oh yeah, I really like him. We can talk
Kyron
about
Davis.
that.
That's Saturday. Let's go. Let's start with that. Well, let's start. The first one I want to ask you about. A lot of people don't like him. Isaac Lucero. A lot of people think he's overhyped. Your thought on Isaac Lucero? Any chance of an upset there? I think he'll win this fight. I get why people don't love him, but I definitely think he's going to win this fight. What are your thoughts on Isaac Lucero?
I have him. I'm actually taking him to win this fight as well.
Yeah, I can't see him not.
Especially when you look at like, who he's fighting. Once again, the odds, it adds a little bit more value. Why aren't people high on Lucero? I wonder. I'd like to ask. Are they saying they're not high on him to win this fight, or they don't think that he's going to be? They're
just not high on him. You know how when the people think a prospect is overrated, they pick him to lose so they can be the first one to be right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lucero's a guy.
That's not going to happen.
He's going to win this fight. Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to win. People who bet emotionally like that don't win. It's literally my dad. The greatest gambling advice probably all of our fathers gave us: bet with your wallet, not with your heart.
Not with your exactly.
You can't bring your emotions into this game when you're betting on prospects to lose who are 7-1 favorites just because you want. Like, no way, he's winning that fight.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I agree. I just want to see if you had any thoughts on the other two fights. Blancas is fighting Kwame Ritter, who is only known for losing to Khalil Ko. So I'm not even a fan of Blancas, but he's going to win that fight. Camille Moten, your thoughts on him, Johnny and Muscle? This is a guy. This is no pun intended. Floyd Mayweather's golden boy. They've attached themselves to this guy for good reason. What are your thoughts on Moten?
I'm a fan of Camille Moten, man.
Yeah.
I love his style. I love man. He gives you both hips, both shoulders. He throws bombs. He'll take one to give one. He really tests the metal. He got tested. I think it was his 2nd or 3rd career pro fight. They paired him up with another young kid who was like 2-1, and that was a war. It was a 6-rounder. If you haven't seen that fight, his name's slipping my mind. I don't want to say Eric Robles. It was somebody like that. And even after the fight, it's one of those fights when the bell rings, they're staring each other down forehead to forehead. So I learned a lot about Moten in that fight when he got tested, what type of guy he is. Dude's a fighter. You know what I mean? He's a dog. I like him. He's a fun prospect to watch.
I love him.
All right. And then also Daniel Blancas. I'm not impressed with Blanc. What do you think? Any thoughts on Daniel Blancas? This is a guy that they like a lot. The Benavidez family likes him a lot. I don't. He's all right. He'll win. He's fighting Kwame Ritter. Yeah, that's the most I can. Yeah,
feeder fight. It's a feeder fight. These are like if you pick like 7 or 8 of these $7s, and you put like 10 grand to win 4 grand.
Yeah.
This is what I do with top rank cards. When
Yo,
when top
that's
rank,
our money maker right there, G.
they
The
make
top
money.
rank cards, bro.
Yeah, they're ridiculous
Carlos told
fights.
me about
Yeah.
that.
I be going heavy on those fights, bro. Like 30, 20s and shit. You know.
So that
Just no
he's
more
gonna
Alan
win.
Garcia. Never again. Alan
Never
Garcia,
again,
Chris
bro.
Colbert. Yeah, no more. Never again.
Chris Colbert.
That
Why
was
do you
like
keep bringing
Alan did us dirty.
He's super sharp. He can win the fight from the outside. I made money on him when he beat Rayo, and he was a slight dog in that fight. Everyone told me Rayo was going to win. I was like, nah, he's going to beat Rayo. And I bet him again in the rematch, and he got destroyed. I'm like, I went to that well one too many times. Then he's fighting some nobody on Pro Box. I'm like, all right, he's going to win this fight. And then he gets trashed on the Pro Box. I'm like, God dang, never again with Chris Colbert.
He's like Chris Colbert was trying to be like the Temu version of Adrian Broner. He just had never made it to Broner's status.
Right? Yeah, literally too.
Poor AB, man. I talk. He's an Ohio guy. I mean no ill will towards AB, man. He's my guy.
All right, I want to get to the big 3 fights on Friday. You want to start with Caleb Plant and Resendez, because I don't see much of a fight here. This is Caleb Plant by destruction.
Getting back on his same. And people have been messaging me about Resendez, which tells me he has fans. There's people who I guess they're just diehards. No matter when certain guys are from, without getting too political, certain areas fight, they obviously will always cheer for that fighter. Caleb should look good here. I mean, have you seen his physical conditioning? He's not as young as people think. He needs to make it happen now. Caleb needs to get a knockout. He needs, you know what I mean? Like
he's due for one.
This is setting up the Charlo fight, though. We'd have to think, right?
Oh, of course.
This is why they're doing it. Yeah.
So it's kind of like if you want to play the $8, $7, and you know how this narrative, the story is supposed to be written, it's easy money.
And this is one of the things where we talked about not betting with your heart. I met Caleb Plant. He fought in Houston once really early in his career. And after the fight, he was at a bar. And I was like, hey, it's the white guy with the quick hands. I'm sorry. He got like absolutely no personality. He's like, hey. He's got absolutely no personality. I'm not saying he's a bad guy. I'm just saying he's barely he's barely a human being, right? It's like, you have any personality at all, bro? No, none. All right, cool.
He's very matter of fact.
And I'm picking him to win, right? I'm gonna bet money.
I'll be right back, boys. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
No doubt.
All right. So he gave us his thoughts. Go ahead, Muscles.
I think this is a fight just for Plant to go out there, showcase his skills, and look good before they, close out and finalize that Charlo fight. I think he's gonna outclass this dude. I think. Listen, I even think Plant is a safer lock for the stoppage than Charlo is.
Ooh, I want Johnny's take. I'm gonna take.
Yeah, I don't know what he thinks of that, because I really feel that confident that Plant is gonna get the stoppage. I was just telling Gary, Johnny, that I feel more confident in Plant getting the stoppage over Charlo getting the stoppage, even though I think Charlo could get the stoppage.
So
Charlo's been off for 4 years, though. I mean, huh?
The odds makers agree with you.
The thing, man, I don't. We're doing this for a living and breaking down these fights and knowing guys' careers. Sometimes I think we overanalyze and overlook. And I found myself this week watching Jamal Charlo's fitness training, seeing his fight camp, and I found myself dissecting. He's hitting the 2-sided bag, and I'm telling myself he doesn't look good. He looked tight. I brought this up on my live stream this week. He doesn't look. When guys are like a well-oiled machine, they're loose, they're fluid. I could see the inactivity in his movement patterns. So if I were to pick one to win by stoppage, I would pick Caleb to win by stoppage versus Charlo. And Lamont Cornflake, you got to understand, never underestimate a white kid from Philly who thinks that he's going have you seen the interviews Cornflake's been given? I don't know. I think he's going to give maybe Cornflake should get stopped because he's going to give the fight Charlo. He's going to give Charlo the fight the fans want to see. Like, he has no problem getting knocked out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But he's not backing down either. Like, he's coming to fight.
I want to see. Look, I want to see the best. I want to see the best version of them all. I like when Charlo, when those boys are at their best. That's what I cheer for. I cheer for great performances, great talents, and you can't say I'm glad to see him back in boxing. That inactivity though, and who knows, we know what the lifestyle does on the body, the career, people, it's been well documented. He really doesn't live a lifestyle like a samurai. So
yeah.
What do you think on that, Gary?
I don't like the inactivity, but I said the same thing about Keith Thurman. I said if you can get Keith Thurman to beat Brock Jarvis by stoppage, you just bet him because he's going to knock him out.
That. Yeah, that was.
I kind of feel the same way. Like Charlo might not look as sharpest. Like I don't like inactivity. I don't know. I'm pretty close with Ronnie Shields.
You're down in Texas, right?
Yeah. He's on the wall. He's over here. He's on the wall. Like I know him pretty well. He's a great dude. Like I said, that Caleb Plant has absolutely zero personality. You would never want to have dinner with him. Charlo's the complete opposite. Charlo's awesome, right? Yeah. But that being said, I don't like the activity. I don't know what he's going through personally. That being said, in the ring, it may take a while. It may take 8-9 rounds. I do think he gets him out though. I think
it is a 10 rounder. Keep that in mind. It's a 10 rounder.
That's right. It's 10. It's not 12.
Yeah.
LaManna got flatlined by Laura in like 30 seconds or less.
I know.
That's what I mean. He's fine. He's fine with getting knocked out.
DJ, shout out to DJ with the $5 super chat. Appreciate you, DJ. Best clap ever.
DJ.
Appreciate you, DJ.
I recognize him. He's a beast.
Hey, is Caleb Plant is that a 10 rounder too? Or is that 12?
Oh, well, that's it. I haven't even done the tape
it's
on
12. It's 12
it's 12
rounds.
Yeah.
12. Okay.
I kind of we're gonna get to that. Thoughts, Charlo. I know you don't like talking about the props. There's also a knockdown prop.
What's
1.5 knockdowns on the Plant fight. Would you take it?
Oh, I didn't even, bro. I've been slacking. I haven't even gone on DraftKings. They
just added it today. They just added
What's the line on it?
Hang on, let me see. There was 2 props that I liked. Plant to win and under 1.5 knockdowns, minus 165. That was one prop. And then total knockdowns under 1.5, minus 180.
Ooh.
I might like that one better, actually.
Let me ask you this, G. His opponent, has he ever been stopped before?
No.
Once.
Hang on.
He got stopped once.
I'm sorry, not stopped. My bad. I said that wrong. Has he ever been knocked down before?
Elijah Garcia stopped him.
Okay. Did he knock him down before the stoppage?
Two fights ago. And we just saw, I'll find that out for you real quick. Wow, and he was down on the cards. Garcia, well, the way they had it, Garcia always fights like he's frustrating the bet to Doc and Elijah's style. But yeah. He stopped him, and it was like a down on the cards. BoxRec, no, it doesn't say he was down.
It would say if he was. It would say knockdown and such and such around.
Yeah. Okay.
I think Plant's power is a little understated. Like I think he has power. I just don't think he knows how to use it. And that's what I was hoping that Breadman was going to get out of him, and he never really did. You saw it in the Durrell fight. It's like, see, this guy's not feather fisted. Like he's got more power than his record suggests. And that's why I was so disappointed in like the Canelo fight and the Benavidez fight, because he's just on his bicycle. It's like you're not going to run from Canelo or Benavidez for 12 rounds. You're going to have to sit in and stand in the mid-range and fight with him. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to run from Canelo. And you saw it, especially in the Benavidez fight. He looked great for 5 rounds. In the 6th round, you saw him start to slide. And then he got beat up every round thereafter. And, you can't run for 12 rounds.
I think a lot of that, especially that Benavidez fight, man, when I watched that fight, like you said early on, to me, it was almost like, Caleb didn't have a good economy of his he didn't have a good economy of his endurance. He gives a lot early under the kind of speculation that his opponent won't be there late. And if anything, that kind of would tell you that he thought he was going to stop him. And then I thought he was going to stop Benavidez. And then when that didn't happen, what's up, Wilmer? Like he faded his gas tank, and we've seen that happen with him before. So I don't know if it's because his muscle, he's bodied up. I think it's a conditioning thing in terms of his endurance rather than a psychological. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm torn on Caleb. I'm torn
I
on
agree
Caleb.
with you. It's just like these guys are seeking. Canelo, Benavidez are the best seek and destroy fighters in the world. This is what they thrive off. If you're just going to run from them, you're going to start to slow, and you haven't dented them at all. You haven't taken any gas out of their tank, right? So now you're starting to fade, and they're just coming on. And how you know what I'm saying? There's going to be a switch, and you saw that in the Canelo fight and the Benavidez fight. You can't run without denting the guy. You got to slow him down. You got to go to his body, hit him in the chest, hit him in the arms. Just start to slow him down.
I think my thing with Plant as well, people don't talk about. He's not a natural. He wasn't a natural boxer. He was a kickboxer, and the only reason I reference that is when you're kickboxing. Look at his amateur career. Has a long storied amateur kickboxing career. The punching is different. How much you sit on. You got to block. You got to block things. You got to check kicks. So you're really not sitting on shots. And I think I've seen that since he's in his pro and how he punches. Benavidez could throw. He could shoe shine. He could volume you to death, because he doesn't sit on every single punch. And I think Caleb Plant, he has signs of still not being refined. And I think he should beat Resendez, but he has a lot of super fans that I always hear from who think that I don't know, man. I don't know if I would put Caleb Plant as high up as people think he is. And mine strictly comes down to his well-roundedness as a boxer. I don't think he has enough years in the game. So I don't know. I'm not too, and he's already in his mid-30s?
Yeah, he's in his 30s, yeah.
So I'm one of these guys. I've never been too sold on Caleb, to be honest with you.
That's a good point by 79.
With the thought of being an outside fighter when he's way better in the pocket, in my opinion. No, I think that's well said, 79.
Yeah,
I agree
a good
with
point,
you.
79. Yeah.
That's a psychological thing, though, and a tactical thing, 79. You know what I mean? That's not – or maybe more – or an instinctual thing. When you get in the pocket, some guys just can't do – think about Arturo Gatti. I bring him all the time. He has his coach screaming at him, box Arturo. He can't help his innate instinct to just
natural instinct.
Stay in the pocket and fire. And it might be one of those things with Caleb. Might not be too comfortable there.
I mean, he showed how much he could fight in the pocket his last fight against McCumbly.
Dude. That was he's fighting soon. Diego, that's a good fight.
Yeah.
I want to so we both like Plant and we both like Charlo. We like Plant by stoppage, and Charlo we're gonna kind of lay off that because of the inactivity. We take Charlo money line, but we like Plant and probably by stoppage. Is that unanimous?
Yeah. I also like the under 1.5 though, G.
We like the 1.5, yeah.
At -180. Yeah.
And then so I want to get into this fight because I'm a big Yaneli Hernandez fan. I also think Kieran's a pro's pro. I think Kieran's a good fighter. I think this is a major step up. But Davis just lacks explosiveness. He lacks power and speed. He's really good. He knows how to fight, but he's a B-level fighter, right? There's nothing. He kind of reminds me of an American version of an Eddie Hearn domestic level fighter, right? You know what I'm saying? He knows how to fight. He's got skills. He can keep you at bay with the jab. He can fight at all three levels. He's good. But there's just nothing explosive. There's nothing next worldly about Kieran. And unfortunately, when he's fighting someone who's next level, he's going to lose. And that's kind of
lose. He's going to fall short. Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
I agree with you that, and I think that a lot of the boxing fans who criticize the traditional Cuban style of boxing should watch this fight and should watch Yaneli Hernandez because he has all those attributes. He has all the skills, that refined sort of approach, but he'll also trade.
He's explosive too. He's explosive like Tiafimo's explosive.
And he's not, and these boys are fighting at middleweight. He's a fun guy. He's a fun prospect.
He is.
He has good feet too.
Yeah, he has a lot of, and he wants to fight you. Big boy for the 6'2", a lot of good things. I think Kyron's going to be in over his head.
I agree. Right,
so I think he's going to get stopped.
I like the stoppage too.
I can see Hernandez drowning him. It seems like it's one of those where he's just going to pour, squeeze, and then before you know it, it's over.
Hernandez by stoppage is plus 115.
Ooh,
okay.
Tasty.
That's real tasty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, how much of that is his 7 pro fights versus Kyron's, his resume? That has to come into consideration. He only has 7 pro fights. Kyron has over 20. So
this is not going to be hard to get a plus money parlay because we all like Gallegos. Yeah. Because we all like Gallegos. So I'm just going to put this together.
We're already in plus.
Yeah, we're already in the plus with just one bet. So I want to do a 3-leg parlay. You guys tell me what you guys think. Plant money line, Lucero money line, Gallegos money line. Well, we want to take Hernandez. We're 100% confident in Hernandez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Lucero, Gallegos, Plant, Hernandez, all money line, plus 166. It's pretty good, guys. What do you think?
It's really good.
That's
really
the move.
good. That is the move right there. Damn, I wish Gallegos fight Saturday. You know how I am, G, with splitting up these parlays on different days, man. I think, Johnny, you like that too, right? You like to do same day parlays.
I don't like I don't mind waiting. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, you okay? All right.
Yeah, I
To
don't
each
mind.
his own.
I don't like breaking them up. Like, if we have fight cards on, I'll break it up. Like, I have one parlay there, but then I also have a long parlay with all of them together.
Right.
Jay, Jay asked me, can I put this? What do you want in the Discord, Jay? I can, but I'm not sure what you're referring to. What do you want? Do you want that?
The parlay you just put together.
Yeah, no, for sure. Let me write it down real quick because I'm gonna wrap this up now. I don't want to keep Johnny.
I gotta go to the city to actually box. So
yeah.
Hey, this was a good party though, man. I'll tell you that much.
We gotta do this again sometime soon.
100%. I'm gonna put that parlay we just cooked up when I put my in my book, and I'll screenshot it in my community post section. I'll tag you guys in it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, Johnny. Right now, you're what? You're I think I saw your post. You're like 55 for what? No,
my money. I'm 55 out of my last 56 money line picks.
That's
79. Yeah. One thing before you go, 79. One of my favorite people in the chat, in the Discord. I like him a lot, so I want to address this question real quick. We did, but I guess he wasn't here. He was sparring. He said, Garrett, I don't know if you discussed this, but have you seen the tape on Valenzuela? I think he wins. Talking about the Lucero fight. Wow. Yeah. I've told you, people are really low on Lucero. So, Johnny, what are your thoughts on that?
I don't know. I appreciate 79's perspective, but I would have to ask him, what do you see? How do you see him going about beating Lucero? I don't, to just say that based off of odds. Does he win a decision? He outboxes him. Does he pressure him? I don't.
My guess is he's gonna say is he gonna outbox him, right? Because that's Lucero's a thudding guy who's fundamentally flawed. I guess is the knock. I mean, would that be the knock on him? You would say
one-dimensional, maybe
one-dimensional guy that can be had. You can time him. You can outbox him.
They were saying the same thing about Sugar Nunez last night, mate.
I was one of them. But fortunately, I just took the over, and I sweated out every minute of it. Once we got to the 7th round, I'm like, oh god! And then Chio's in the chat. Chio's in my chat saying 6.5 hit, 7.5 hit, 8.5 hit. I was like, get this to 10.5. And somehow Rikishi survived this. I was like, thank God.
That's a great pick. Were you watching the fight live?
Yeah, I was. I was sweating bullets.
Like the 10th round was fucking brutal.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it hit. Like I was saying, like,
all right. I was sweating that fight because I think it was either in the 11th or 12th because I just took Sugar on the money line, went real bigger than I've ever gone, and Rikishi hits him with a beautiful step back uppercut.
Yeah,
and literally lifts Nunez off of his toes, and I'm like, oh shit! Like I thought. It was crazy. I was screaming at the TV. But
you're ballsy taking that over on that fight, dude.
I know.
I thought Rikishi could beat him. I didn't see what his game plan was, and it never seemed to make any sense. And since Rikishi's got to keep him at the end of his punches, right? Yeah. If he can keep him in the mid-range, he can out-hustle him. If he can keep him all the way at the end of his punches, he can have him. And he just fought half the fight or most of the fight just in up close and inside and in a phone booth. I was like, you can't do this, bro. Like, this is the one thing you can't do.
He was having success. He was having success. I just think that body work, what Sugar does really well, other than the pressure and volume, is his punch selection. You never know where he's going to throw. He had Rikishi guessing a lot on where to defend when his back was on the ropes, body up top, body, and he throws his shots at weird angles. But I actually was impressed. I was impressed with Rikishi's work in the pocket. I felt like he could have done more of that. It's a risky game to play, but he was scoring.
All right.
As Sugar steps up the competition, them knockouts ain't gonna be there. I'm telling you right now.
All right, guys.
All right.
Does this mean anything? BoxRec right now doesn't even has Isaac Lucero's opponent announced. It
Yeah,
just
I
says
I asked that in my stream this morning. BoxRec doesn't have an opponent, so I was wondering, did Valenzuela drop off? Is that still the fight? I don't know. That's what I was asking. BoxRec doesn't have it. Although
No.
PBC is known for this, right?
And you can still
got
bet on it.
canceled.
You can still bet on it. Hey, Johnny, where do you find your locks? Mide Ola, I put them up in the post section. So if you go to our channels, you'll see videos, shorts, playlists, posts. That's where you'll find it.
Yep.
All right. I know Johnny's got to wrap this up. I got to wrap this up. Johnny, Muscles, Johnny, tell us everyone where they can find you again and about your channel.
Guys, just follow YouTube channel, Johnny Says. You'll see the boxing channel. Great having me, guys. I appreciate you. Muscles, thanks for setting this up. Gary, let's do this again.
All right. Muscles, tell everyone where they can find you too, my man.
Hey, you guys can get me on IG. It's my main social media platform that I use at Money Muscle Brown. You guys already know, man.
All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all. This was fun. We got to do this again sometime.
Yes,
It's May
sir.
28th, 2025 from Texas
Good luck.
to the
Good
world.
luck.
Let's make this money.
Yep.
And God bless.
Thank
Yep.
y'all. And God
My
bless.
man.
Don't miss a tweet, post, story, or video. 3 Boxing is on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Hit the subscribe button now to stay inside the ring.